Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a code red for humanity. These are the words that UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres used when he commented on the latest IPCC climate report. It calls for urgent action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to climate change. Climate change is a global threat. Every country must address it ambitiously, and the countries that have caused it have a special responsibility to do so. A big thank you to the Global Center on Adaptation for holding this African Adaptation Finance Forum in view of the great importance of climate adaptation in general and in view of this year's climate change conference in particular. At COP26 in Glasgow, some important decisions were made that mark the end of the fossil era. It is now important to implement these decisions ambitiously, especially with the most affected countries. Until the world meets again at COP27 in Sharm El-Sheikh, three things are crucial: national ambition and long-term planning towards the net zero goal, immediate implementation to maintain the 1.5-degree mark, and the necessary support to ensure that no one is left behind. To succeed, we must all take the necessary action in this critical decade. In the run-up to COP27, I would like to highlight our strong support for adaptation in Africa, particularly through the African Adaptation Initiative, AAI, for which we are already providing support. We regard AAI as an increasingly important facilitator for adaptation and resilience in Africa on behalf of the African Union. And I can assure you that Germany will push for the doubling of adaptation funding as agreed in the Glasgow Climate Pact. And we will continue our cooperation in the Champions Group on adaptation finance. We are looking for innovative ways to scale up our efforts in terms of collectively increasing our share of adaptation finance. As we are now moving rapidly towards COP27, we encourage other donors to follow suit and increase their commitments like Germany has done. Many countries are still facing various challenges in accessing climate finance from bilateral and multilateral sources. This problem must be addressed with determination. Germany will play an active role in reinforcing our joint efforts to improve the quality and quantity of adaptation finance and access to such finance. In addition to climate adaptation, providing insurance against growing climate risks is key. German development cooperation addresses this, for example, within the framework of the Injury Resilience Global Partnership and the African Risk Capacity. In view of increasing loss and damage risks, the German Development Ministry is working on a global shield against climate risks, an initiative that aims to provide more systematic, coherent, and sustainable financial protection for poor and vulnerable people and countries. This will be in focus of our efforts at the COP in Sharm El-Sheikh. Finally, together we all need to step up our efforts in raising our ambitions even further. By 2025, the German government wants to increase its contribution to international climate finance to 6 billion euros per year, and one important goal is to balance funding for climate change, mitigation and adaptation. And I call on other countries here today to join us in these efforts. Thank you very much.